My name is Connor Mosack, and I'm a professional NASCAR driver.
This is Cal Mosack, sponsor of Connor Mosack's TA228 car, also ARCA and Super Late models. And we are very happy as the CEO of Nick Taylor Custom Underwear, and we are
live on the Todd Wharton Show.
On the Todd Wharton Show.
So right now we have an exclusive interview with the real Ricky Bobby. Take a look. I'm the real Ricky Bobby. All right, that man stole my name.
Hey, I'm Ricky Bobby.
Stole my girl.
I'll hold your hand.
Stole my best friend.
And Ricky Bobby is my best friend. And it's shake and bake time.
By the way, shake and bake, that was my idea. All right, we were back in the kitchen back in the day. I used to make the meanest chicken, right? We put the shake and bake in the Ziploc bag and then we shake it up. Then we shake it up. Then we shake it up. And like, yo, we should be shake and bake. He disappeared, and here we are today. He's using shake and bake. Well, I got something for you, all right? You got your shake and bake? I got buys and tries. Buys and tries. You don't need to know what it's all about, but buys and tries is coming for you. You heard it first, right here. Coming up next, Todd Mosack. So welcome back, everybody. So my guests tonight are two great men who are also father and son. One is Connor Mosack, who's a professional race car driver, and the other is the owner of Nick Taylor underwear brand, Cal Mosack, who is also the sponsor to Connor Mosack. Let's take a look at the clip. Welcome to the show, Connor and Cal Mosack.
Doing well, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Todd, for having us both on here. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And Cal, thank you for watching the promo today.
Yeah, I actually had lunch with Connor today. I'm like, did you see Todd's Ricky Bobby intro? I mean, this is awesome. I'm telling you, it was like, I've been watching your stuff since we started knowing about this, and you just do a great job with all your guests, and you're very energetic. I love the fact you do your research, whether it's Nick Taylor Underwear or Connor Mosack's racing career. It's important to us. It means a lot that you actually take time. I'm sure it means a lot to all your guests that you do that.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. It's this show right now is pretty much in season 2, but it's an offshoot of another show, and it's been doing extremely well. The guests I'm having on are icons and monster legends, and we're trying to create a show where it just brings together all great people from all industries, bring them together, because that's what it's all about. It's not about if you're at the 100% top of the game, but if you're growing there, and even if you are, you should be on a show which brings other people together. And that's how you gain followings, because people from hip-hop like driving, drivers love, cooking shows. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about everybody really respecting each other's art and craft. So I'm honored to have you guys as my first race car driving team, father and son, even though you do Nick Taylor, which I appreciate you for that. So let's start with Connor. Connor, first of all, man, congrats on becoming a pro. That's a pretty death-defying feat, I guess you could say, because I drive a car, and if I go near 70 miles per hour, I start freaking out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to ask, Connor, what literally what was the moment that you decided, man, I need for speed. I want to drive faster than anybody without getting a ticket. Like, what was your idea behind that?
Well, I'd always been into like street cars and cool cars and stuff. And then when I was 16, I went a little too fast on the road for a while. So my dad and I did the Mario Andretti experience at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that was kind of the moment where, I did like 175 miles an hour around there, and just kind of fell in love with it there. And just that's really what started it, trying to figure out how we could get into some more racing after that.
Yeah, I can't really say I can definitely cope with what you're doing, because if I play one of those video games and I crash into a wall, even part of me is just shook up, and you're doing it in real life.
The games get me sometimes too.
Now, Nick, how do you feel about having a son that really aspired to his dream and now living it, and you're the proud father of a professional race car driver? How does that feel, man?
I tell you, Todd, it feels amazing. I mean, it's like, we all have our kids. You want to see your kids chase their passion, whether it's sports, business. Got one daughter in real estate, another in staffing business. And to watch Connor excel from, he started kind of late, started when he was 18. So to reach where he is today, racing on the NASCAR level, is really amazing. It's been exciting. It's probably taken years off my life, so sitting there with headsets on, listening at times. But I'm so super proud of him. I mean, he's got a really God-given drift to drive and drive fast. It seems like the more he moves up in these different classes of race levels, the more he excels. I mean, he's got a great demeanor. He handles stuff a lot better than I would have had somebody that wrecked me. I would probably say some bad words on the radio, but he seems to be, the composure, I think, is part of the reason. He's got the nerves to really, really do this and keep excelling until he gets all the way to the top. So,
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. And I like how you said, he gets to handle situations. Look, if you can handle a car at 200 miles per hour, you can handle if somebody makes your burger wrong, you got to return it. You know what I'm saying? You just relax. Like, excuse me, this is supposed to be medium rare.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, you were so nice about that. I'm like, well, have you seen what I do? Because this is my calm part right now. This is where I'm cool.
Yeah.
So
as long as the tire doesn't blow apart going that fast, I'm cool.
Exactly. Now, what I like about the both of you is, if you have time to look me up on my site, I'm a huge person on giving back. I created New York City's Peace Concert we do here every year in Times Square. And I love people that give back selflessly. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because there are people out there that give back because it's a write-off. And I mean, I'm very realistic when it comes to that. Your attorney's like, listen, man, you got to do something with this money. You got to put it somewhere because you got to get killed. But you're doing something right now, Connor, where you're giving back to the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation. Now, Jacqueline, I had to look her up. Now, she was diagnosed with medulloblastoma. Is that correct? Medulloblastoma, which is a malignant brain tumor that she developed. So what made you decide to go to this type of charity and give back?
Just the marketing firm that I partner with, they had a connection there, and I was able to meet with them and get to know Dennis Murphy, who's Jacqueline's dad, and he runs the foundation. So they have a lot of drivers adopt children who are going through different childhood cancers now, and just help support them. So I got partnered with a young boy named Bryce Long, and just been kind of keeping up with their family. So that's really kind of how I got into it, and it's been great to see Bryce's journey. He's been cancer free for a little bit now, and so it's been great to see.
Oh, that's amazing. So is part of your energy when you get into the car knowing that you're really driving for a cause? You're not just driving to win a trophy, but you're also driving to save lives. I mean, that's kind of what you're doing right now. And I'm saying that because it doesn't matter if you give $1 or $10,000, you're contributing to something that can literally save lives. How does that feel when you hop in that car?
Yeah, it's great. Just something you can think about every now and then. And then especially, like when we raced in Charlotte, we had Bryce come out to the track with his whole family and just kind of, help him get his mind off of what he's going through and just enjoy being at the track. For me, that's just what we do it for, to be able to bring joy to some families like that.
And I love it. Now, Nick, as you're Nick, I'm calling you Nick now. How many people have done that? They're calling you Nick. Like, listen, man, I don't want you to picture me as underwear. I'm a human being. My name's Cal. Nick Taylor is what we put on a butt. Just don't call me Nick. It's a little weird. So, Cal, I know you also give back as well, because I know your son has followed in your footsteps, which is really, really great. You decided to go a route where you're giving back to the prostate awareness, right? Prostate cancer. Did you develop cancer, or is this something that was in your family that you decided, hey, this is a huge male problem. I want to contribute back to that through my brand. How did that work out for you?
Yeah, I think it's just, we look, it's like 1 out of 9 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer. And the biggest thing, we really try to help, spread the awareness for early detection more than anything. We partnered with the Prostate Cancer Foundation. We gave a percentage of proceeds to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. We've had different calls with different doctors from Northwestern University Hospital to just, we're very passionate about it's a very serious illness. There's not too many people in this world that aren't touched in some way, whether it's a family member, a friend, a business associate, a friend of a friend. So it's it's a cruel disease. And if you can detect this early enough, which is what we've really, really pushed to help spread the awareness. We had some great support from an actor named Peter Facinelli, Twilight, great actor, writer, director in his own right. And Peter his father is a prostate cancer survivor. So there was a lot of passion for us to team up with Peter and jointly really spread our commitment to make people aware. And again, early detection is the key with prostate cancer, and it's something we believe passionately in.
Right, which is great. Now, if you guys don't know Peter Facinelli, he was also in, I think it was a movie with, I forgot her name. It's one of those kid movies he was in. It's like one of those party things with Seth Green. I forgot the name; it just slipped off my head. But he played Carlisle Cullen in Twilight, played the father and the doctor. If you guys don't know who he is. But besides prostate cancer, there was another reason why he was great for your brand, because he also had a weight problem at one point. And your underwear is pretty much designed to make people feel confident. Now, that's a really cool thing that you're doing, because I was a chubby kid growing up. And, I'm from the blue collar era. I'm Italian, so I grew up where my freezer was just stocked with food. It's like I can just walk in there 8 in the morning and have Oreos and cake.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. When you're a fat kid, when you're a little afro-looking fat kid, when you're a kid, you're the cutest thing in the world, and all the girls want to get to you. But once you turn 17, all those girls that wanted to get to you try to run away from you as fast as possible. So, now, getting to the underwear thing, Connor, are you a huge advocate of the Nick Taylor brand? Do you understand the real core on why your father developed this brand? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're, I had a hard time getting fit initially, I'll admit. And, but once we got fitted, and I was, they're the best I've ever experienced, and I love them and wear them in my race car when it's 140 degrees in there, and they stay comfortable. So, I can't really say enough about them, and I know everybody that we have try them loves them too. So we're just trying to get the name out there and see where it can go.
That's great, man. And Cal, I know you were doing this for prostate cancer, like we just discussed, but were you an overweight kid when you were younger as well? Did you have a lot of insecurities growing up there? Because there's always a reason behind the madness, right? You don't just wake up one day and be like, hey guys, you know what I want to do? I want to make underwear for my boys. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be the jockstrap man. Nobody ever says that. So what was the inspiration behind you really creating this great brand? By the way, the logo is dope. And the reason why I'm saying that, I hate when people do logos, which is just so extravagant. And it's like, well, what about your brand? The brand stinks, but the logo's great. And you went the opposite. And the reason why I said that, most of the greatest companies in the world have the simplest logos. And the reason why they do that, you want to remember it, but your more power and concentration is on your brand. So kudos to your logo.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so tell me about the inspiration behind it, why you developed it.
Well, I guess fortunately or unfortunately, weight was not really an issue for me early on. I've got a gut you can't see right now intentionally, but we just really thought that there's certain things, not that's really locker room talk, but guys, when you start talking to friends and, different family members, guys just generally don't like the way their underwear fits. So we saw a real niche really to customize it. We don't make small, medium, large, XL, 2XL, 3XL. We have waist sizes from 28 to 48. We have 4 different inseam lengths, and we're going to make sure if you get a pair of Nick Taylor and you don't like them, we're going to make sure Audie Cooper, who's my chief designer and partner as well, will make sure that you are fit perfectly. And we will keep at it. If we have to do 2 or 3 pairs, so like Connor said, he was a tough critic, which I love that about him. I knew when we got Connor Mosack happy with his Nick Taylor, we were on our way that we could do something. We also had a very active body positivity campaign. Yeah, it's one thing. You're Peter Facinelli, who dropped like 30 pounds, and other world athletes, but most men, men come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And if you ever website, we had some guys that we had a photo session with that are just like, these guys aren't world-class athletes, but, the guys need to feel good about what they're wearing. And that's been a big part of our deal too, to make sure this is the most comfortable underwear you can possibly put on. And we'll make sure, again, if you're not happy with it, we're going to make sure you are. I mean, we have a 100% guarantee, and we stand behind it. We talk directly to you. We're not hiding behind anything. If there's a problem, we're going to make it right.
Which is great. Now, I'm going to ask the same question to both of you. Cal, I'll start with you because we'll continue on, piggyback on that. First of all, thank you for making the underwear, because whoever created Tidy Whities needs to be shot. I'm sorry, man. There is nothing sexy about a man wearing the tightest white thing where it's just not. It's like, it's literally a bikini for the man that says Hanes on the back, and it's white. So it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm a boxer, man. I like breathing. I like relaxing.
Oh yeah,
that's great. Now, you launched that thing on April 2nd, which I believe was the campaign. So one of the questions I ask a lot: how did COVID affect your brand? Did it actually do better? Did COVID help it out, or did you have to rebrand and restructure how you're doing business?
Actually, COVID did help us, and we really pushed that. Whether it's Instagram postings or on our website, that everybody's working from home. I mean, our world turned upside down for everybody, and more people working at home. We're like, if you're going to be sitting around on your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, whatever, you might as well be sitting. Most people, we had a Nick Taylor no pants campaign. People sitting at home. You're not going to wear pants. You don't need to wear pants, but you're going to be damn comfortable if you're Nick Taylor sitting there.
And I can just imagine when you guys should do a commercial. I'm giving you a marketing idea right now. People, I think, have used 3 marketing ideas that I have on commercials and stuff. Your commercial will be hilarious. Like, how COVID just ended up where everybody's now starting to come out of the home? You should do a commercial where you just show an empty neighborhood, and then they announce that COVID is lifted and all the mandates are up, and then just everybody come out of their house and they're all wearing underwear. And some guy on the bike rides by and goes, "Damn, man, put on some pants."
Hell yeah, I like it. We're going to give you full credit for that. I'm liking it. We're going to go to our marketing social media people with that one. I think that's a great idea.
The funniest campaigns are the ones that people remember. And all it's got to be is like, hey, no matter where you are or where you've been, it's so comfortable, you don't even realize that you're outside and you're pretty much nude.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that would be awesome. That would be one of those commercials that I want to see in the Super Bowl, because I'll choke on a Dorito if I see that. That would be hilarious.
We're going to headline you, put you in that ad.
I would love it. I do a lot of acting. You already see that, so bring it on, man. I'm happy to do it.
Have you?
Thank you. Yeah. We're going to get into that in a sec. Connor, how did COVID affect you? Even though you're in your own car, that had to affect you hardcore, because NASCAR and a lot of other brand racing really, really is one of those sports that rely on fans, on money.
Mm-hmm.
And when COVID hit, you must have been one of the sports that everything just crashed.
Oh yeah.
So what did you do during that time? Were you even able to practice? Were there even any, places open that you can just drive laps, or was it shut down?
For a while, there wasn't really anything. I think, about mid-March, everything kind of shut down for us. And then it was probably end of April. There's one local track near us that opened, no fans allowed, but you could at least go and run. But, in the meantime, a lot of guys were on iRacing, doing some simulator racing, which is really, as close as you could get to the real thing. So that's kind of what kept us busy. But it was still, pretty late into the year until most tracks were allowing any kind of fans. So once the fans came back, you really appreciated them, and the whole atmosphere was great. So I think it really, made the atmosphere more electric with the people coming back after not being there for so long. So It definitely took a big dip for us, but I think it made when we got back going normal, just that much better.
Now, you're on a little bit of hiatus at the moment, but you are working on your next race, I believe, is the Arca Menard Series, correct? That's coming up soon. Is that correct? Am I right on that?
That's my next ARCA race, but we're actually racing next weekend in Nashville with the Indy cars, the Nashville Grand Prix on the streets. So I've been looking forward to that one all year. I think it'll be a great race.
Oh, wow. Now, question to Cal. I understand your father and son. I have family members where we actually don't combine business with pleasure. We will eventually, because we love each other first. We're family first. And even though you're family, we have this attitude where if I'm going to put money on you, I need to make sure, because this is not about you being my son or my brother. This is about business. So did you guys have a lot of talks over the years before you decided to sponsor your son? Because even though that's your son, that's still a financial commitment that you're doing. Did you guys go through ups and downs and conversations with that, or how did that even work?
Well, we had discussions about it, certainly. I mean, me, father, and obviously, as you said, it's a business. Racing is not an inexpensive sport. That is for sure. But for me personally, with Connor, it was so much deeper than, for me personally, more than the business side. It was personally wanting to support him as he chased his dream and make sure that we could put him in the best equipment with the best teams. And as he continues to excel, I think that the major sponsors will come, which would be a great thing for him, for us. But I think the exposure for him has been my main driver. The conversations that Connor and I've had to just get the best tools to excel.
Which would be great. Connor, speaking of excelling, what is one of your dream trophies to win in your expertise of racing? What is the coup? Not the coup. That's a really bad word right now. let's get the coup de grace. Let's get into that, because I'm saying coup. People are like, oh man, here we go, about to go down. Yeah. January 8th. Like, no. What is the ultimate trophy to win in racing right now that you want to aspire to?
I mean, in NASCAR, I think the biggest race we have is Daytona 500, and so that trophy is probably number one on that list. Of course, you have the Cup Series championship trophy as well. Those are probably 1 and 2. I think for anybody that's aspiring to be in NASCAR.
Which is great. Did you grow up watching NASCAR when you were a kid? Because I know how you got into it, but were you watching it when you were younger?
When I was real young, we went to a couple races, at Charlotte nearby. But really, growing up most of the time, I wasn't really following it. I just didn't really, know too much about it or know anybody in it, so I just had no connection there originally. But if it was on or something, I would watch it, and I think it was really cool. I just didn't really know what I was looking at.
Right, which is great. Now, Cal, when I know parents have their idea of what they want their kids to be when they grow up. When he decided to do this, and there's nothing wrong with it, yes or no, because it's an honest answer. Were you 100% on board with him becoming a racer, or did you try to deter him from doing something else? Because, it's one of those sports where if you do well, awesome, but there is a possibility, right? And I'm not trying to bring that up. Was it hard for you as a father to support him 100%?
No, I mean, I was all in, really from day one, Todd, after he talked about the open wheel class he went to, and we went to a legend driving school here at Charlotte, and the guys running the school wanted to know how long he'd been racing. I'm like, he's never raced in his life. And again, I just think it was a real natural gift that he was given. So for me, there was never any question mark. Okay, I want you to do this. But again, it does take years off your life if he's involved with wreck. I mean, they build these cars pretty damn safe. The cage,
yeah,
they do everything on devices to protect his neck, head. But still, I mean, as a parent, scares the hell out of you when he's involved in a bad wreck. And so it's like, so that part's certainly nerve-wracking. But as far as ever not being on board with his desire to pursue this, no, I've always been 100% behind his desire and his passion.
Yeah, and I give it up to you for that. Like, I want to clap because it's awesome to see parents really supporting their kids no matter what they do, because you recognize that this is his life. This is what he wants to do. This is what you want to do. And a lot more kids succeed in life when they do have parents that really support them no matter what, because they realize that's not me. That's not what I wanted to do when I grew up. But this is what he wants to do. I'm going to support him 100%. I don't want him to be the son that's doing things, to go against what I say, which is really well. And a lot of times they go farther in life because they had that support from home.
Right.
Now, Connor, when you get into that car, besides giving back to charities, do you have kind of like a method way where you walk into your car, you have like a little seance that you do or something like that when you get into that car? You kiss the, do you kiss the rear view mirror? Do you pull up your Nick Taylor underwear to make sure they're tight before you're about to turn on that engine? Do you have something that you do every time you get in the car?
No. I mean, I just try to really focus on getting in the zone, but I've tried to come up with some superstitious things, but I've ended up having bad luck with all of them. So I haven't found one yet that's worked for me. So I'll keep trying, but mostly just try to get mentally in the right place and just focus on racing.
Which is great. Now, you're the only one on your team right now, or do you have other drivers as well that are under your belt?
For the Trans Am races, I'm the only full-time driver this year, but we usually have at least one other teammate, sometimes two or three, just depending on where we're at. But I am the only one that is running the full season. Okay.
Are you guys, well, now that your father's sponsoring you, are you looking to develop like a nice monster corporation in the NASCAR to really develop a really, really team? Because I know a lot of these teams have more than one driver on there. You obviously help each other once in a while, and then it enables you to go out and get a better pit crew. Am I wrong about that, or is that something that as you grow, like your pit crew gets better, and obviously you have to have a pit crew that you trust? And that's a question I want to ask to both of you. How did you guys decide to have the right pit crew in your car? Like, where did you find these guys? We'll start with Cal, and then we'll go right to Connor.
Yeah, well, I think we've been involved with one guy that's been around racing his entire life that we've been very dependent on, Todd, to help us as far as getting the right, crew, the race teams, which also, as you said, and the crew is critical. You've got to have the right guys working on the car. Connor's very involved with his crew, which I think is really important. He builds that relationship, that bond with his crew. But there's no substitute for having the right people, whether they're changing tires or they're working on the engine or, adjusting shocks or whatever they're doing. It's a team that, they've got to have everybody committed to it. But we've been fortunate that we've generally had, up through his early stages to where we are now, really pretty solid crews to support what he's doing, put him in the best car with the best chance to win.
That's great. And Connor, when you're driving in that car, who's the voice that's in your ear that you're pretty much talking to the whole entire time?
As far as like on the oval side, NASCAR side, we'll have a spotter, and he'll tell you you're clear. Make sure that nobody's on your outside you're going to run into or that sort of thing, and kind of walk you through restarts and how many laps you have left and that sort of thing. But your crew chief will be on there as well. You can tell them if you need adjustments when you come down pit road. So usually it's just the two of them, but spotter is mostly who is kind of coaching you through the race.
Which is great. Now, any of these people, any of them family members, or are they people you really had to go out and interview and discuss amongst the team and be like, this is the perfect guy for that? Because how many people are actually in a crew, Connor? It
varies. It varies from team to team. As you go up in the higher series, you generally will have more people, and but as far as who spots for me, sometimes just the team I'm driving for that weekend, they'll supply somebody, and then I have a guy that I've worked with before and liked, and so if I go somewhere that doesn't have anybody, I'll bring him with me, and might feel more comfortable having a familiar voice on the radio.
That's great, man. Now, Cal, with Nick Taylor, where are you looking to take this brand right now? Because it's obviously becoming really successful. You already got an A-list actor on board. That's not really a brand ambassador, I would say. He's more of a client. How they always say, like, I'm not just a client type of thing, but I'm somebody who wears the brand frequently. Where are you looking to take this brand? You looking to take it, nationally all over the country right now and putting it in different stores? Or are you looking to just do an online sales platform?
Yeah, it's primarily been online, Todd. We have a few. We have a very high-end, specialty men's boutique store here in Charlotte that carries us. We have one down in Charleston, South Carolina. There really are only two. There's one in Atlanta we're working with now, but it's been primarily online sales. But I mean, we're national now. We're not doing anything as far as outside of North America at this point, but really concentrating, basically on the U.S. I mean, basically North America to really build the brand, build the awareness. We want to build loyalty. We want to put people like on an auto replenishment program. Okay, Todd Wharton gets 2 pairs, 3 pairs, whatever it is. Nick Taylor's every 60 days, whatever that is. By the way,
Right.
we don't have any. We want to make sure we get you some.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm an extra large. Women appreciate that. I'm just...
I can do that.
No, I'm a large. Sorry, ladies, but I am. I'm just letting you know. But are you looking to have this like an official sponsor of NASCAR eventually, and not just for your son? Would you like to get to that point where it's an official sponsor of NASCAR?
Well, if we could get that, would be amazing. The band, the brand that you have your top line sales, certainly that puts ourselves in a position to do something like that. I mean, that would be amazing. It would be ideal if we've got people generally really love Nick Taylor's. It's just a matter of getting the brand out there and building the awareness. And if we can build that to a company where to the size where we could be some type of sponsor for NASCAR, we'd absolutely be in for sure.
That would be amazing. Connor, when you were driving, are there some drivers that you're not going to be like because you're the next Connor Mosack? And the reason why I say that, there's a difference between trying to be like somebody and trying to aspire to be somebody, right? Meaning what they accomplished in their career. Are there a few drivers out there that you have a lot of high respect for, that you're hoping one day you'll exceed what they've already done, that you look up to as a mentor and like a colleague on the track?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's good guys you race against that you respect and want to race clean and earn their respect as well. And there are guys that you want to beat them, of course. And so you just do what you can, and you just look up to them, and maybe you go ask them for advice on certain issues, and just learn what you can.
And that's great. Cal, by the way, you have a hard out, right? You have a 7:30.
I do. I do. I'm
okay.
down here with you guys. I mean, you've been awesome, and just can't thank you enough for giving. It's been really fun too to do this with this first time Connor and I have been able to do something together as father and son. So this is we're very grateful that you took time to have both of us on here together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. And I'm keeping track of the time because I've been in this industry for a while. I know how it is when you have a time schedule. And when your publicist told me about that, I'm like, yeah, I'll make it work. So I'm looking at it now. I know it's 7:33. I don't want you to be late for your other call because it might be a money call. But I always welcome to have you guys back. I'll finish up with Connor right here if that's cool.
Sure.
And want you to get to your next meeting so you're not late. And do that commercial. I'm telling you that people are gonna love that commercial idea.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
I've got that locked in. I'm planning on talking to our social media folks and the ad. I think that would be an awesome. We're calling you, and you're gonna be part of this.
That'd be great. You know what you could do after you guys are done? On IG, send me your phone numbers. I'll send you mine, and we can keep in touch. And then obviously, whatever we do, the managers and publicists will be involved because I'm one of those people. I don't leave out anybody. I just don't. Everybody deserves to be a part of something great, especially when great minds come together.
Yeah,
and they do things. That's the way it works.
Yeah,
But Cal, I appreciate you for being on. Congratulations on the brand, and I hope it's still to do real well beyond COVID. Because if it continues to be an online world, I think the sales are going to just keep going up and up. And as long as people are feeling insecure, you guys got underwear that you can wear forever.
Got it. Well, thanks again. Let's stay in touch. I'll definitely exchange numbers here and stay in touch with you. And we come to New York, we'll go take you out for cocktails and dinner.
That sounds like a plan. Cal, take care, man.
You too, bud. Appreciate it.
All right,
You're
welcome.
Take care, man. Thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Hey, he's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a lucky man. Which is really cool. But first of all, Connor, man, congrats on doing this. I mean, like I said, I can never do something that you're doing. I take a lot of risks. like dating.
Yeah.
That's a risk within itself. See, at least with a car, you can get to know her, and we all call it her. You feel her out, when there's something wrong, you can feel it. When you're dating, you have no idea. A girl could be like, she could be like the best actress in the world and not knowing that she's planning on murdering you in about 20 minutes. So
Hey, car can be the same way sometimes.
that is true. That is true. So when you're driving, what are some of the, I guess, the red alerts that you look for? Because obviously your whole main goal is to make it around the track every single time. Are there certain things that you need to look out for while you're driving that car? Because it's not just driving. You got to look all over the place, the lights and everything. What are some of the things that you're looking for while you're driving to make sure that your car is intact?
I'd say the two biggest things is, you got to keep an eye on your water pressure or water temp and your oil pressure. If those get too high, then you'll have your motor can run hot and you'll blow up. So it's actually happened to us last weekend in our race. So it's fresh on my mind. But yeah, it was all of a sudden there was no warning on that one. But if you see those going up, you could prevent that happening to your engine and be able to save it or figure out what's going on. So I'd say those are really the two biggest things. Just as long as those are good, your car should be running good as far as things you can have warnings of. But sometimes if you suddenly get the balance changes dramatically, you might have a tire going down, and then you have to come to pit road. So you want to try to catch that before it blows in a bad spot, and then you end up spinning out into the wall. Because once it goes down, you're kind of just a passenger in the car.
Yeah, which is great. By the way, I want to show some love to Jen and Casey that represent you. I had a nice talk with Casey. She's a sweetheart, by the way.
Yeah.
A very cool lady to talk to. She's old school like me, even though we're not old school. She likes to have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a lot easier to do things when people actually talk on the phone. I can't deal with this. Texting should only be if you have a quick message. Talking is just a great thing to do. Like, these interviews aren't interviews for me, they're conversations.
Right, yeah.
Which is great. So you should feel blessed that you have people like that to represent you, because I don't think people realize when people are representing you, I tell everybody, make sure they're representing you, meaning that when they're out there talking to people about you, they're doing it with the best intentions, and there's a great positiveness about that. And she brought that from day one, so I appreciate her for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job on getting her.
Yeah.
Which is great. Now, you guys are in North Carolina right now, correct? That's where you guys grew up?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're both born and raised here in Charlotte.
In Charlotte. Are you thinking about possibly moving to a place like Nashville and stuff like that? Because Nashville, there's a lot more bigger races out there. Am I wrong about that, or am I correct about that?
There's some big races there at NASCAR. Actually, just went back to the Nashville Speedway for the first time in a while. But Charlotte's really kind of the home base for NASCAR. Almost all the teams are here or just outside of Charlotte.
Okay.
A place called Mooresville. So actually, Charlotte's really the place to be. So I kind of got lucky that this is where I'm from and don't have to worry about moving somewhere.
See, and right there, this shows you I know a damn thing about car racing.
Yeah.
That's why I ask questions. But there is overseas, right? There's a few tracks out, and I believe, I think it's Italy, where they have some great tracks that people love to go. Have you ever done those overseas?
I've never raced anywhere outside of the United States. But yeah, Formula One's really big in Europe. They've got a lot of great tracks. I'd love to go, drive someday, but and a lot of those teams are based over there in the UK and some in Italy and various countries. But yeah, Formula One's definitely really big over there. And you got like IndyCar, they're based in Indianapolis here in the United States. So there's a couple series that are kind of have their own home bases. But for me, NASCAR, it's in Charlotte.
Yeah, it seems like you love it. Am I getting that feeling that you love to drive?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I look forward to getting in the car every week, and I just look forward to each one.
Yeah. Do you ever sneak out of the house and just drive at 3 a.m. and people are like, where are you? I'm like, I'm going 300 miles per hour, man. That's what I do, 3 a.m. Get back home and go to sleep.
Yeah, sometimes maybe stressed out or something can go for a late night drive or get up early in the morning or something before work. It's definitely something that I enjoy.
So, even though you're a race car driver, what is your physical shape like? Like, is there an enduring workout regimen that you have to do in order to drive? Because obviously each sport has a different workout regimen. Do you have to keep yourself really, really in shape in order to drive, or that's not really a huge thing that people look for in drivers?
It's gotten to be pretty big. It used to not be so much, but the cars nowadays are they get so much hotter, and your heart rate is really high in a lot of these races. Sometimes I wear a heart rate monitor, and your heart rate can average 160 to 180 beats per minute the whole race. So it definitely takes a toll on you. And biggest thing is really just making sure your cardio is at least in decent shape. And you really just got to focus on being hydrated. I know, you can kind of get conditioned if you're in the car a lot. Just, you don't really have to do a whole lot, depending on, some guys need to be in better shape than others, but some guys just get conditioned by racing so much, and they just make sure they're hydrated beforehand. Because, when it's that hot, it can be up to 120 or more degrees in the car, and then you get your suit and everything on top of that. So, and you're working hard and focusing the whole time. So if if you're dehydrated, it's really easy to get mentally fatigued late in the race, and it can cost you some mistakes.
That's crazy, man. And then obviously mentally it has to be 100% there, because I would probably be worried if my driver, maybe lost a family member, they're going through some emotional times. Do you go through that with a lot of drivers as well, where you have to go through every time you go racing, like they will test you on your mental ability? Because what if you're going through something? I don't think they would want somebody in that car if they're emotionally going through something in their life. Is that correct?
No, no one really checks you beforehand. You just, I guess if you really got something going on you need to deal with, then they kind of, I guess, leave that up to you to say something, which I'm sure most people probably wouldn't say anything anyway. But no, they don't really do any kind of checks beforehand.
Okay, so all in all, even if you don't get along with some of your drivers, there's got to be like a driver code, correct? When you get behind that wheel, knowing that respect your fellow driver. We're out here to race. We're out here, there's going to be some blood and this and that. People don't like each other. But at the end of the day, I have to assume that no matter what, each driver does have a respect for the other. Am I right about that?
For the most part, you'll get some guys you really got to watch out for out there sometimes. Whether they don't know what they're doing, if they're new, or they're just kind of that's just how they drive. You just kind of know who they are once you race around them, and I have to give them a little extra space. Or sometimes if they use you up a lot, you kind of might have to put them in the wall or something, and let them know that you're not going to take that. So you just kind of have to deal with what comes your way, and stand your ground for sure.
That's crazy, man. I'm going to tell you right now, if I ever decide to race, I'm going to come out. We're going to do a little shake and bake, and I'm going to let you get right behind me and go take off. I'm going to help you out. I promise you on that. But, yeah, I'm going to be taking Ubers to the racetrack. And I can't even go there because it's so loud, these races. I almost lost my hearing when I was a kid. So for me to be at a race like that, I'd probably have to be in the middle wearing earplugs and or watching TV so I can be inside, like just having a hamburger, just be like, oh yeah, they're racing out there. I can hear them. They're good.
Yeah,
They're good.
Get in a box or something sweet, some of the nicer tracks.
Which is great. Does your mom ever go to the race at all? Is she around?
Yeah. She goes to most of the races once she can make it to, which is pretty much all of them. So. She shows her support, which is obviously much appreciated by me. And she took a little bit of convincing when we first started, more so than my dad. She wanted me to get closer to finishing high school. That's why part of the reason I started when I was 18. So I just stayed consistent and persistent that it's what I wanted to do. And she finally realized that that's what I wanted, and she let me go give it a shot.
Which is great. What is the average years that a race car driver will last in this industry? Is there an idea about that?
You'll have a lot of guys, the good guys, they'll race into their, late 30s, early 40s. And a lot of guys will start, in their early teenage years. Some of them even younger, 6, 7 years old. They'll race till they're, in their 40s. So, and you'll even have some guys that, might still race even later than that just, do it because they just love what they do. But I'd say most people will probably retire in their 30s or 40s.
Which is amazing, man. I mean, just imagine having a successful career and retiring in your late 30s where you still have like 3/4 of your life still to go, where you can really do whatever you want. Now, if you weren't driving, do you have a backup plan that you always wanted to do besides driving? If it can never work out, it obviously is working out, which is congrats on that. But if you had something else you wanted to do, what would it be?
I think if I could do anything, it'd be something in the racing industry, or at least the auto industry, since that's kind of what I've always had a passion for. Right now I'm working with my stepdad in his business and just kind of learning those aspects and the various parts of that business and where I can fit in. So I've been enjoying that, and that's probably what I'll do for a while. In the weeks while I'm not racing, and that might be what I would do full time if racing were to not work out. But I try not to have a plan B and just focus on plan A and making it work.
Yep, and that's the perfect answer, man. Thank you for saying it like that. And that's you know what that means? It means you're passionate.
Yeah.
And that's 100% right there. Well, Connor, man, thank you for, coming on with your father. Really appreciate you, man. And congratulations on such a great career so far. Yeah, many years to go. I did a lot of research on you. I saw a lot of your races, and I'm just like, damn. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this guy's flying. This is awesome, man. But yeah, man, I think you're going to have a very cool, promising career. And the best part about it is you have a family that loves you and are supporting you 100%. And I don't think you can get no better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely would not be where I am without them. And can't thank them enough.
All right, man. Well, we're going to talk soon. I'm sure you got a lot of other things to do today. But, man, thank you for coming on FaceTime with Todd Wharton, Connor. I appreciate you, and we look forward to having you back. And hopefully I'll get to see you race one day. All right, man?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're welcome to anyone. Or if we come up near you, we'll definitely let you know. But I appreciate you having us on.
That would be great, man. Listen, man, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Bye-bye. So first of all, I want to thank Connor and Kyle for being such great guests on the show. Obviously, I know nothing about race car driving, but you know what? Great thing about being a talk show host, you get to learn within half an hour. And they had a lot to say, and I'll be honest with you, man, I give it up to Connor for doing what he does. That's definitely a career that you need to be very passionate about in order to do it. And Connor, congratulations on so far a successful career. And Cal, congratulations on your brand. It's obviously doing great things, and thank you for guys like me who are insecure and younger and trying to make us feel secure every day by having underwear that we can fit and feel good about. And I appreciate you for that. So guys, thank you for watching FaceTime with Todd Wharton, to always my live virtual audience. And tune in tomorrow night as I'll be interviewing hip-hop artist Big D and legendary music producer Easy Moby. And until then, if you're not living a passionate life, then lose life you live. Take care, everybody. Good night. Hey guys, thank you for watching. So the next time you're in the bathroom scrolling on your phone, why don't you stop on by our YouTube channel and subscribe? It's as easy as 1, 2, man, doesn't that feel good?